So as my channel gets a little bit bigger, I'm starting to get a lot more questions than I used to, which is brilliant because, yeah, I'm more than happy to answer questions. So while I've answered these questions to the specific people that have asked them, I thought it would be kind of cool to actually do a video and expand on it a little bit more because there's some good questions in there.
Yep.
So we've got 4 questions today. Let's start. Okay, so the most recent one is, do you usually research in advance for restaurants and places to eat, or do you just walk around and try out and see something that looks good? So this was on the London video, so obviously when we're travelling.
Yeah.
So sometimes I use Instagram mainly to find food. So if we're going to, like, say London, I will search hashtag vegan London and see what comes up, because there's a few accounts that are specific to places like Vegan London, North Vegan London, and they will show you places. And the great thing about that is you can see what the places actually do.
Yeah, it's not this sanitized, here's our press release image. This is what someone's actually bought.
That's brilliant, because again, you can look at a menu and be like, oh, that sounds amazing, and then when you get it, like,
Yeah. Either that, or you look at it and you think, wow, that's amazing. There's lunch sorted, and you go, is that it?
Yeah, exactly. But at the same Happy Cow's really good as well. But you kind of get photos, you kind of don't. But at the same time, when I did research for London, and
I didn't.
Instagram has this great option where you can kind of bookmark or save or flag up certain images, and you can save them into collections. So I'd done all this with loads of them, and we went to the toffee maker. The blacksmith and the toffee maker was one that I found. And then once I put them in there, I kind of forget about them. And we were in Camden, and we were wandering around, and you spotted
Rudy's Dirty Vegan Diner.
And you were still hungry, so we ended up going there, and we kind of just stumbled on this place. And you had it, and it wasn't until I was looking later, I was like, oh yeah, it was on the list that we totally should have gone, and we completely missed it. So there is an element of research.
Yep.
There's an element of stumbling blindly upon stuff.
Totally.
Berlin was really good for that, because there's vegan options everywhere. So there's certain things we wanted to do through research, and other things like Dragon Bowl, we just happened to walk past it, and it was next to like an ice cream place that we'd stumbled upon another time. So it's a bit of a combination of research and ooh, that looks good, that we kind of do.
The coffee I'm drinking is a prime example. It is Kamajumba from Kappa. If you're really interested, I have blogged about it. Ta-da! I run a blog as well, nowhere near as efficiently as Ivy, but I do run one, which is just coffee obsessed.
It's called Uncomfortably Caffeinated, so maybe it's because you're like too busy with the jitters.
Could be, could be. And yeah, we were walking towards Lupicia for tea for you, and you found it. Because I walked blindly past it, not paying a bit of attention, because it's like, no, Lupicia's this way.
Well, it didn't really have a storefront or anything, it just had this kind of like A-board outside.
Yeah, and you spotted it, and it was went inside, and they were beyond lovely.
And they have vegan options as well, so again, it was like just stumbling upon something.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that with the first time I went to Paris, on my Todd, there was no internet. So I literally just wandered.
You're showing your age, sweetie.
Yeah, I know. But it literally was you just hopped off at a tube station, which either sounded good or if it was elevated, looked good, and you just wandered around. Because there wasn't really. I mean, yeah, there's time out and whatnot, but you couldn't always get one for that city or one that necessarily dealt with what you were interested in, and. So I guess I'm always been used to sort of stumbling across stuff.
But it is harder doing it as a vegan. Sometimes there are cool things, sometimes there aren't. However, your coffee brings us neatly onto the second question, which is, as a fellow tea lover, may I ask, which plant milk do you find works best for your tea and coffee? Now, you're the coffee drinker.
Yep.
I'm the tea drinker. You do drink tea, but
No.
I'm the tea snob, you're the coffee snob.
Very
So,
much.
as you said, you are drinking your fun-named...
Kamajumba.
Yeah, that one. What milks? You prefer different milks to me, don't you?
I'll freely admit whenever we're somewhere and I'll say, what non-dairy options do you have? And if they reel off a whole bunch, it'll be the one that I've either not tried before, or I'll say to them, well, what do you recommend?
You had a cashew latte in London.
Yeah.
And that was a new one, because cashew... I do quite like cashew milk.
Yeah.
It's too expensive to have in everyday tea, because I drink a lot of tea, but it is quite nice. Like, you had that in the latte.
Yeah. I've just recently stopped, which is probably why I'm twitching, with my coconut condensed milk and caramel sauce obsession. Obsession, let's be honest here. Which is Nature's Charm, because before I went vegan I was a huge fan of Vietnamese coffee, which is literally coffee poured all over condensed milk.
So you found the condensed coconut milk version. But what is your favourite? What is like your go-to if you could like have any one? Just the one, what would it be?
For God's sake.
Coconut condensed milk.
Just
put it straight in there.
Not quite that. It's close, but I'm not quite that. But I know I've been tearing through the caramel sauce, but that's because it's all we've got. I actually prefer the coconut condensed milk to that.
You'll crack at some point and get more.
I know I will, but I'm going to try not to have any for as long as possible. Whereas for you...
I'm a cheap date. I like soy milk. For me, because the person here, when I replied to them, they mentioned that it's one of the things that's stopping them from becoming vegan. Now, I first tried tea with soy milk in it, and this sounds really, really posh and wanky, with the free Waitrose tea and coffee. And they just happened to have a bottle of soy milk sitting there. I was like, oh, I'll give it a go, because it means I don't have to buy a whole tub of it if it's horrible. And I put it in it, and I fell in love with it instantly. It was just, it's like slightly creamier than like the semi-skimmed milk I used to go for, and I just loved it. So yeah, at the moment, thanks to the penny sale at Holland & Barrett, we have got so many of these. We've been going for the soy Provamel with vanilla, which I really, really like.
That's because some idiot, oh no wait, that was me, bought a case. But
it lasts a long time. Like, this goes out of date in 2019, so it'll last us, and it was like $160 for 2 as opposed to $159 for 1. Yeah. So, you know. But I find that works really, really well.
Yeah.
Because I use loose tea, so it means... Because again, the problem is like curdling. Like, I use loose tea, which means that a lot of the heat is going to be taken out from my metal strainer. It's going to sit there for a while to brew, so the temperature goes down. And then you pour your milk in there and it doesn't curdle, whereas coffee's a little bit different. Again, I find it's a temperature thing though.
Yeah, totally. This is I've got to be honest, this is the main problem I'm finding, having stopped my addiction for the time being until...
Yeah, that didn't curdle, because it wasn't so much milk, it was more kind of like a sugary paste. It was like glue. But that didn't curdle as much.
I know we're not selling it, but it's really nice. Whereas, that
does tend to curdle if your coffee is too hot.
Yeah. However, at work, because I have porridge in the morning and have coffee at work as well, I just go for Morrison's own brand, Savers, unsweetened, which is the cheapest, but actually, weirdly enough, it is the nicest tasting soy milk out of all of their own.
It really is. But also, if we didn't have that, we would go for Morrison's own brand.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there we go.
And you've got a soy milk tattoo as well. Which...
I do have a soy milk tattoo. Which, funnily enough, when it was finished, the guy who did it turned around and said, "So what's your favourite plant milk?" The one you've just tattooed on me. That's another story. Okay, the next question is, what sort of tunes do you have on your iPod? Now,
you can
kind of tell from, if you can read that, if you can read that, write in the comments, because I want to see who can read that. That, yeah, you're a kind of metal person, where I'm more a punk person, but I do think, again, the reason why I wanted to kind of do this video is to answer this in a bit more, because...
Rather than just listing stuff.
Yeah, because I've summed it up a little bit, but we do have quite an eclectic mix between us. So I have my trusty little iPod. Right, I'll list off a few genres and bands. So right at the top I've got the Agrolites, who are kind of like reggae punk. The Anti-Nowhere League, punk. The Avalanches.
Since I met you.
Arctic Monkeys. What else have I got? Bjork. Just to like go sideways a little bit.
A lot of these are my fault because
Boys Noise. I really like Boys Noise. After you put it on my iPod.
Yeah.
There's some Japanese bands in here as well, like Capsule.
Yep.
Dead Mouse. There's some French stuff on here. Etienne de Crécy.
Oui, c'est ça.
There we go.
Who did Super Discount.
Yes, Super Discount was really good.
Super Discount 2's the best.
Fleetwood Mac, to throw some old in there.
Yep.
Frederick, who are a Japanese boy band, who we've most recently found. They're the...
Yep. Well, they're not a boy band, because there's 3 boys and 2 girls. It's much like Sack in Action, who's another one that we found who...
Oh, yeah, they're really good. They're Japanese.
Yep.
Hadouken, if anyone remembers Hadouken. Into Party System. The King Blues. I don't know what ever happened to them. Carrie Pamu Pamu.
Don't Google them. You don't want to know.
What?
Yeah.
The King Blues?
Yeah, there's Itch as being accused of being
Oh.
not a nice person at all.
Well, King Blues, the guy who works in my uncle's tattoo shop, he used to know the lead singer, and there was a weird thing with his girlfriend, but we'll not talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure cocaine was involved.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
I didn't say with the guy.
I'm just crowbarring allegedly in as much as humanly possible, so that way we're covered.
Mad Capsule Markets.
Yes.
Marilyn Manson, just to be... Yeah.
New school, old school golf.
Nero.
Not listened to them in a while.
Old Firm Casuals. Old Firm Casuals is a side project of
Lars Fredriksson.
Rancid. Yeah, Rance Fredriksson. Rancid. Lars Fredriksson, who is the
singer and
guitarist, did Lars Fredriksson and the Bastards, and then did Old Firm Casuals. I'm sure Lars Fredriksson and the Bastards is in here. The Raconteurs, The Prodigy, Rammstein, Röyksopp.
Yeah, that's
again.
One of my...
It's all just Shonen Knife, Slayer, and Social Distortion, one after the other. Spiderbait, quite like. System of a Down, who are one of my favourite bands ever. Teddy Lloyd, who I'm recently into. That's the Japanese one.
Yeah, you've got one there, which I'm
Winter
like...
Gatten,
Yep.
which is like the
Marble Machine.
Yeah, that's the one. And then I've got a load of those that I can't pronounce. As much as I'm trying to learn Japanese, I'm still a bit kind of like, That's
Sai.
Carrie Pamu Pamu.
Yep, you've got 2.
Yeah, that's Sai, because that's Korean.
Yep.
I don't know what those ones are.
To be honest, we'd have to click on them for me to even have.
They're also in kanji.
All right. I'm actually gonna. In that case, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there'll be a mix of, is it Doako, Frederick, and Sack in Action because
because I downloaded them and I didn't label them properly because I was in a rush.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
There we go.
You can go next.
Right. Ones that you've mentioned, I will skip. Anamanaguchi.
Yeah.
That's fun to see.
Plus, they did Love Me Like It's Prom Night, and you have a T-shirt that says that on it, which I think is brilliant.
And the weird looks you get when people actually because it's got this 8-bit princess on it, and people sort of look at that and is that a video game? And then they'll actually read what's on it, and then they'll just see them going. Barry White because
that was the first song at our wedding when there was a Barry White one.
Because my first, my last, my everything, obviously. Carcass, because who doesn't love a bit of medical obsessed grindcore? Okay, you love the imagery, but not the music. Certainly not the light show, because...
Oh, no.
Dance with the Dead.
Dance with the Dead are really good.
Yep.
We saw them in Berlin in like one of the coolest places ever.
Yep, your pod's about to fall. Danzig, because who doesn't like the club style? If you're watching this and thinking, what the hell are they on about? Go watch Shooting Stars, and there's the club style round, and then go and watch a bit of a Danzig video and tell me that those are not fairly interchangeable. Yeah, let's just... Death, not just the genre of the band, because Ex Mortis, who I saw support Obituary, and who are just old school neoclassical shred thrash. Flogging Molly.
Oh, Flogging Molly, a good one.
Yep.
I don't think I've got any Flogging Molly on mine.
Let's see, Kill the Noise.
Kill the Noise, who we kind of found when we went to go see the Prodigy. Kill the Noise weren't supporting, but their music was being played beforehand. We're both like,
this sounds amazing.
This is awesome. Like, get that song recognised. Yeah.
Yep. Laserhawk, because again, you know.
M83 you've skipped past, who we also went to see, and they were awful.
They had Space Oboe, and they had this woman who came out and who went,
Oh, this woman who came out in a nightie and just looked thoroughly like, meh, through the entire thing, and it wasn't for me.
Well, there you go. Obituary, because, you know, more death metal. The Obsessed, because Doom. Perfume, who you didn't mention.
Oh, yeah. Who we've also seen. We saw them in Nagoya when we went last time.
Yep.
And...
weirdest gig ever.
It was the weirdest gig ever. But it was good fun at the same time.
Well, it was fantastic, but yeah. Pet Shop Boys, because...
You love Pet Shop Boys.
Love the Pet Shop Boys. I know, metal Pet Shop Boys.
This is what I'm saying, we have an eclectic mix between us, that it's just kind of... The only things I don't like are jazz, because it sounds like all of the instruments are playing a different song while a drum is being kicked down the stairs. And I'm sure there's something else.
Folk.
I'd say Flogging Molly's kind of folky-ish.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, sorry.
Funnily enough, Slayer. Unicorn Kid. You don't have any Unicorn Kid on. So, there you go. And Willem, because if you're going to have a drag queen, Willem's the best one to have. Mm-hmm. Because Drag Race has gone a bit...
I like Alaska's songs, but I'm not such a fan of Alaska anymore, so definitely Willem.
So there you go.
So there we go.
And yeah, Carrie Pamu and Psy at the end as well. So there you go.
A weird mix.
Yep.
And our fourth and final question for this one is from the video that we did on the £20 gift card we got from M&S.
Yep.
And basically making a throwaway comment, being like, yeah, 20 quid, that'll feed us both for like 2 weeks. And someone has picked up on that and saying, did you say that for £20 you can buy food for 2 weeks for 2 people? Could you please make a video like this? Blah, blah, blah. So, yes, I can. 2, I've done the Lidl video, so it was like a £10 voucher for Lidl. I bought a load of food and it made... Well, we both ate it all week, didn't we?
No.
So there is that. So what I'm going to do, because I've done a video of, right, here is £10, I'm buying everything and I can only use this, I'm going to do like the other side of it, where I'm going to use what we've already got, because we tend to like buy something big like every month. So for example, I think it was like April.
No.
We came home with 20 kilograms of flour. After being like, we're going to cut back on flour, we came back with 20 kilograms.
But it was on offer.
It was like one bag of 10 kilograms was $5.99. If you bought 2 of them, it was a £5. So we carried one each home.
Yeah.
The month, like May, we bought a big bag of pasta.
Yeah.
Which was like 2-3 quid.
Yep.
February, we bought a big bag of rice. So we tend to like once a month buy a big bulky item.
January, I probably bought a big box of coconut condensed.
You probably did. So it kind of lasts us.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do this time, instead of taking £10 to the shop and working with purely what that £10 can give me, I'm going to cost things that we make on a day-to-day basis, basically to see how much it comes to, because I could be making this up. 20 quid may not be enough to feed us both, or £10 a week may not be enough to feed us both, but I'm pretty confident with it.
Yeah. Also, I think that is one of the things that if you have, if you say, right, I'm going to the shops, I have £10 and that's it. I get that for sometimes...
It gets kind of repetitive because you can afford like one flavour, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but also I think that, sometimes that's the way it works out financially because of budgetary concerns or whatever's happened. But we're fortunate in that that isn't our case as such, but we do tend to buy in bulk because it's cheaper, it's easier. We also have the space to store it.
Well, other than the flour, which is out in the hallway in an industrial bin bag because we don't have the room. But it's things
exceptions
like,
prove the rule.
When I first moved in,
there
was nothing in the cupboards, which is fair to say.
Oh, totally.
The cupboards in our kitchen are now full. We now have a bag of flour in the hallway, and we have what we have dubbed the doomsday cupboard in the living room because there's nothing else that goes in it. So we kind of like the overflow cans go in there. Yeah. That didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It involved, I want to make this recipe. I need these 2 spices, for example. So I would go to the Middle Eastern supermarket. They do like 100-gram bags for something like 60p. They're like an average of 60p, unless it's something kind of exotic, in which case it's like £1. So, it's super cheap rather than getting the little glass bottles, which are like extortionate in comparison. So I'd buy 2 of those. And then say the next week or 2 weeks or the next month, I want to make that and now I need this spice. So I'd go and buy that one. It now means I have a cupboard full of spices. I have a cupboard full of like soy sauces and like mirin and all kinds of weird sauces and ingredients.
Yeah.
And it gets built up over time. And I've been living here, 7 years now?
Yep.
So I now have this kind of...
7 years on Friday.
7 years on Friday. I now have this over-the-top storage cupboard situation, which I've had to kind of like reel back in because there's been too much of it, because it is I need this and then need this and this, and then we end up with like too many different things. So while it doesn't exactly, was it 4? I thought it was like 15 or 16. Wow. And it's a stupid amount of different flours because you buy things slowly. So that's why I've done one where you have, this is £10 worth of food and this is it. And even that, there was porridge left over, rice left over, and there was curry paste left over. So that is the beginning of your store cupboard. This next video that I will do kind of next week, or as the week progresses, is the situation you're in a few months down the line when you've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that left, and you're now just kind of using that £10 a week to kind of top things up. That way you get like both sides of it, of £10 worth of food, costed items that come up to hopefully about £10.
Yeah, that'll work.
So yeah.
So there you go.
Cool. So I will start posting that later this week. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you want me to do another Q&A or want us to do another Q&A, let me know in the comments below. Leave comments, ask us questions, and we will waffle and answer.
No, you'll answer.
In a long-winded way.
You'll answer them. I'll go off on a weird tangent, and then you'll be going... I'll go, what? I was getting that.
So, yeah.
See? Like now?
And don't forget to subscribe, because, yeah,